Hello, my name is Murad Hedaya. I'm a PhD student at the University of Chicago. I'll be presenting our work on the language of bargaining with Solomon Dworkin, Chenhao Tan, Rob Voigt, and Alexander Zentefis. Bilateral bargaining, in the sense of a goal-oriented negotiation between two parties, is a fundamental human social behavior that takes shape in many areas of social experience, such as the purchase or sale of a house, diplomacy talks, salary negotiations, and even haggling in vendor markets. In our research, we aim to answer the question, how does the use of language impact bargaining conversations? To answer this question, we develop a controlled experimental environment to collect a dataset of bargaining conversations. We build on a widely used exercise involving the bargaining over the price of a house, and the treatment in our experiment is the manner in which subjects communicate. In our control, subjects exchange numerical offers over text, and here's an illustration of an excerpt from such an exchange. In our treatment, they interact through a spoken dialogue over Zoom, and unlike in the control condition, the negotiation process is done through unstructured verbal communication. Prior work on bargaining, especially in economics, has focused on the textual alternating offer style condition. On the other hand, prior work that has used natural language has almost entirely focused on written back and forth. So we improve on this in two ways. Firstly, the target natural language negotiation is conducted in a spoken form rather than written, akin to a real-world bargaining scenario. Second, we pair this with a control condition that allows for comparison with the sorts of economics bargaining games that have been studied. In addition to these two key contributions, our participants are recruited through behavioral labs in universities, and their incentive structure is more high-powered than for a crowd worker on Amazon Mechanical Turk. We compensate participants with bonus earnings based on the outcomes of negotiations and pay them an hourly wage that exceeds the typical $12 hourly wage. Finally, we supplement the transcripts with manual annotations of speech acts based on an ontology we developed specifically for our bargaining scenario. Based on our dataset, we provide some descriptive results. For example, here we plot how far apart the bargaining parties are as a function of how many offers have been made. And we find that when participants are able to converse with one another rather than simply exchange numerical offers, they're able to come to an agreement more quickly and in fewer offers. Additionally, we set up prediction tasks to predict the outcome of a negotiation based on the transcripts. And surprisingly, our results show that logistic regression based on Luke features consistently outperforms Longformer, a popular neural model for long context classification, suggesting this is a challenging natural language understanding task. In bilateral bargaining, an interesting question is which party drives the negotiation and to what effect. Our results show that buyer and seller speech are not equally predictive of negotiation outcomes, and that it can depend on which features are used to represent each party's speech. Lastly, we analyze the important features contributing to class differentiation, and we find that being reactive to the arguments of the other party is advantageous over driving the negotiation. In summary, we build a novel dataset of bargaining and provide annotations of bargaining acts. We demonstrate that the ability to communicate using language facilitates cooperation, And our work reveals linguistic signals that are predictive of negotiation outcomes. For instance, it's advantageous to be patient and reactive to the arguments of the other party rather than the one driving the negotiation. Thank you so much for listening. You may request access to our dataset at this link, and please check out our full paper, which will appear in the 2023 ACL proceedings. Thank you.